The Texas Panhandle, a land sculpted by wind and time, found itself once again at the mercy of nature's fury in mid-March 2025. Dust storms, a haunting echo of the Dust Bowl era, returned with a vengeance, shrouding the region in an eerie, suffocating darkness. Amarillo, the heart of the Panhandle, bore the brunt of the storm's wrath. Visibility plummeted to near zero as a wall of dust, whipped up by winds of unusual ferocity, swept across the flat, arid landscape. The air grew thick and gritty, a noxious blend of sand, soil, and debris. The sun, a distant memory, vanished behind a swirling curtain of brown, casting an unsettling pallor over the land. For the residents of Amarillo, the dust storm was a stark reminder of the region's vulnerability to the raw power of nature. It was a force that could, in an instant, transform a familiar landscape into an alien and treacherous world. The sudden onslaught of the dust storm caught motorists off guard. On the highways that crisscrossed the Panhandle, a scene of chaos and terror unfolded. Drivers, blinded by the swirling dust, slammed on their brakes, their vehicles disappearing into the swirling brown abyss. The silence of the Texas plains was shattered by the screech of metal on metal as cars and trucks collided in a chain reaction of destruction. A particularly horrific pileup on a highway near Amarillo involved an estimated 38 vehicles, a tangle of mangled steel and shattered glass. Emergency responders, their progress hampered by the near-zero visibility, struggled to reach the trapped and injured. The air, thick with dust and the smell of gasoline, echoed with the cries of the injured and the frantic pleas for help. When the dust finally settled, the true extent of the carnage became grimly apparent. 3 people lost their lives in dust-related crashes that day, their deaths a tragic reminder of the lethal power of these storms. Sergeant Cindy Barkley of the Texas Department of Public Safety described the driving conditions during the storm as extremely dangerous, a stark warning about the importance of heeding weather warnings. The dust storms that ravaged the Texas Panhandle were not isolated events. They were part of a much larger and more powerful weather system that swept across a significant portion of the United States, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. This monstrous storm, fueled by a complex interplay of atmospheric conditions, unleashed a barrage of extreme weather events, from tornadoes to wildfires to blizzards. Over 100 million people, stretching from the Canadian border to the Gulf of Mexico, found themselves in the path of this meteorological juggernaut. Wind gusts, reaching a staggering 80 miles per hour, tore across the land, uprooting trees, ripping roofs off buildings, and turning everyday objects into deadly projectiles. The storm's intensity and sheer geographic reach left meteorologists astounded, a stark reminder of nature's raw and unpredictable power. The storm's impact was felt far beyond the dust-choked plains of Texas. Tornadoes, those terrifying funnel clouds of wind, ripped through the Midwest, leaving a trail of flattened homes and shattered lives. Missouri in particular bore the brunt of the tornado outbreak, with at least 12 fatalities attributed to these violent twisters. The storm's reach extended even to the usually placid northern states, where blizzard conditions brought heavy snow and whiteout conditions, paralyzing transportation and isolating communities. The storm's wrath was not confined to Texas and Missouri. As the system surged eastward, it left a path of devastation across multiple states. In Kansas, a state more accustomed to tornadoes than blinding dust storms, 8 people lost their lives in a horrifying 55-vehicle pileup, a grim testament to the storm's far-reaching impact. Arkansas too felt the storm's fury, with 3 fatalities and numerous injuries reported as high winds toppled trees and power lines. The storm's impact on these states went beyond the immediate loss of life and property. The widespread damage to infrastructure, including power lines, roads, and communication networks, disrupted daily life for millions. Hospitals, already strained by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, struggled to cope with the influx of storm-related injuries. The storm served as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our infrastructure and the cascading effects that a single catastrophic event can have on a region.